The Juggling Princess, a retelling of the Parable of the Talents by Heather N. Bean. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, there lived 3 princesses. The first princess was Priscilla, and she was a wonderful dancer and singer and could play many instruments. The second was Irina, and she could paint and draw better than anyone in the kingdom. The third princess was Eva. Unlike her older sisters, she couldn't sing or dance or paint or draw. She couldn't sew or knit or cook or make tapestries or any of the things that princesses were supposed to do. She began to think there was nothing she was really good at. One day she was watching the jester juggle in the grand hall. The jester, knowing that the young princess was feeling down, tossed one of his juggling balls to Eva. Though surprised, she deftly caught the ball and threw it back. The jester continued to juggle for a while, then again tossed the ball to Eva. Again she caught it and threw it back. He continued to throw the balls to Eva until they were both juggling together. "You have quite a knack for this," the jester said. A knack? Eva thought. She had never had a knack for anything, and now she finds she has a knack for juggling? She felt quite glad of the idea that she might be good at something after all, but was also worried. Princesses weren't supposed to juggle. Who had ever heard of a juggling princess? A dancing princess? Of course. A painting princess? Certainly. But juggling? How could she tell anyone that she had a knack for juggling? Still, she did enjoy it, so she had the jester teach her all she could about juggling and kept practicing, but she never showed anybody else what she could do. One day, the king called his daughters to come before him in the throne room. They knew that it had to be for something important. "My dear daughters," the king said, "I have just received word that the merchant of Misselthwaite is thinking of trading with our kingdom. This would be a great benefit to our kingdom. It would bring great prosperity to all our subjects. I am going to Misselthwaite to negotiate. Then he will be coming here. If he likes what he sees of our kingdom, then we will have a deal. But I need your help. When he comes, we will have a feast in his honor. At this feast, I want you each to present some talent. I want the merchant to know how our kingdom values talent. I will be back in 1 month. That should give you plenty of time to prepare something." Priscilla and Irina were already thinking up brilliant things to show the merchant when he came, but Eva could only think in dread that the only thing she had to show was juggling. The princesses worked and practiced throughout the month. Priscilla danced and sang and played, making music echo through the palace. Irina painted every piece of canvas she could get her hands on until they covered the great hall. Eva didn't know what to do. She continued to practice juggling, but didn't think she could perform it in front of everyone. What would they think? What would the merchant think? Soon the merchant arrived, and so did the feast. Eva ate in dread, hoping the meal would never end. But the dinner ended, and the king nodded expectantly at his daughters. Priscilla rose first. She performed her most beautiful dance, and then sang a lovely song, accompanying herself on the mandolin. Then Irina rose and presented the merchant with a gift, her most beautiful painting of the kingdom's countryside. Then everyone turned to look at Eva. She stared at her plate but didn't move. The king leaned over to her. "It is your turn," he whispered. Eva hung her head lower. "I'm sorry, father, but I have nothing to present." The king gave Eva his sternest expression. "Did I not give you the same opportunity as your sisters? Did I not give you a month to prepare, and you have nothing to present?" Eva couldn't answer. The king took a deep breath. "Please go up to your room until the feast is over." Eva nodded and obeyed. Soon after she reached her room, the jester came. "Why didn't you juggle?" he asked. "You are very good." "How could I?" Eva wailed. "Princesses aren't supposed to juggle. It's not graceful like dancing or beautiful like painting. I can't do anything like my sisters can." "The king didn't ask you to do something graceful or beautiful. He just asked you to do something, and juggling is something. You can't compare yourself with your sisters. We've already seen their talent. We needed to see yours." Eva thought about this. She really did want to help. "But I've never juggled for anyone else before," Eva said. "What if I juggle with you?" the jester asked. Eva nodded. "Okay, I'll do it." They returned to the great hall. "I have something to present now," Eva said to the king. The king couldn't help wondering what she could prepare in 10 minutes that she couldn't prepare in a month, but he kept this thought to himself and nodded. Eva took an orange from the table and tossed it to the jester. The jester caught it and tossed it back. They continued for a while before a stunned and confused crowd. Then Eva added a second orange, then a third, until the entire fruit bowl was flying across the room between the princess and the jester. Everyone was amazed. They had never seen such juggling before. They began to cheer and clap until Eva dropped one of the oranges. It fell squishing on the ground and squirting juice right into the jester's eyes. All of the fruit fell to the floor. The hall was silent. No one knew what to do. Eva was embarrassed and seriously considered retreating back to her room when the silence was broken by a chuckle. The merchant was laughing. Soon everyone else was laughing as well. Now Eva was even more embarrassed than before and turned to leave. "Wait, my dear," the merchant said. "You don't need to be embarrassed. Things fall when you juggle, but you still did very well. In my kingdom we all juggle, but very few can juggle as well as you do at your age. Please continue. I really enjoy watching it." Eva could barely speak through her surprise, but nodded and picked up the fruit again. In the end, the merchant agreed to trade with the kingdom with the condition that Eva juggle for him whenever he visited, a condition she readily agreed to. The end.